as happy as can be, as a 5-year-old can be. Life's going great. My parents walk in and go, my dad sits me down and goes, Sarah, I've got some news for you. And I go, what? What don't I already know? And my mom and dad say, Sarah, we're moving to Nebraska. Dad got a job there, so we're gonna move. And I go, we can't possibly leave my life right now. All my friends go to preschool, and my grandparents live right across the street. I can't leave that. Why would I want to leave that? I don't. But reluctantly, in August, we moved to Nebraska, and let's just say I just had a really hard heart towards Nebraska when I first moved there, and probably if you still ask me today, I still have this angst and hatred towards Nebraska, but I'm working through that. But this has impacted my family in a great way. It impacted my relationships with my family because I was mad at my dad. Why would you bring me to a place that I don't know anybody? I already knew everybody that I wanted to know in Minnesota, but here I was in the middle of Lincoln, Nebraska, trying to make new friends in kindergarten. And since the relationship with my dad just was struggling because I decided to have a hard heart towards him, different relationships in my families grew to be stronger and less than. My sister and I, we were very close. We're still close to this day. She's 4 years older than me, and we're close. And she doesn't like Nebraska either. Me and her have the same views on it. So we get along very well in that sense. But we always just grew together. But my brother and I, we fought a lot. He's the very outgoing, lovable guy, and so me and Mike, he was 2 years older than me, we just grew very distant because he was on my dad's side, because he adapted to Nebraska very well. And it was very hard for me because I was like, well, you should hate Nebraska because I hate Nebraska as well. Why would you want to move here? You were older than me, and you had more friends than I did, and me and him just did not get along very well in that sense. Another thing about moving to Nebraska, it led us to Lincoln Christian High School, which is a small private Christian school, and I lived about a mile away. It's full of white Christian people, a majority of them. So I really didn't grow up around this racial issues. They taught me you love everyone always, and so I always saw that as, okay, I love everyone around me. They're all like me. Why wouldn't I want to like them? And I didn't see any issues, or I didn't see any of this white privilege that so many other people see in the private Christian places, is that you have this white privilege. I just saw white people, and I saw them as, yeah, I am loving everyone. What is the problem? Why can't everyone do this? And so that's very much, I was very confused by the podcast of people aren't growing up in the sense of not having textbooks and better things to help educate them. Like, why can't we have that for everyone? Because I grew up with this mindset of that I was very privileged and because as it was a private school, I got all these amenities that a majority of schools in poverty areas, or just not funded as well as from the government, they are in these poverty situations, and they're not getting the things that I was getting in my education. So I had so much, and so when I was listening to the podcast, I just sat there and I go, I can't relate to any of this. I had all these problems, and then we got to the point of the drugs and the drinking, and why black people are getting this they are getting harassed by different people in the community. And I sat there and I go, but don't they know this is happening in the private Christian white schools? This is happening everywhere. You can't just blame it on this. And so I got this anger built inside me, because it's like, this is what's happening. This is what's happening in my school. Why are we just blaming this? And like, through my family, they growing up, they told me more about these racial issues, and just because the school that I went to was not providing this, and so I was very confused. Why are they telling me about these racial problems when they're so prevalent in today's world? And so, but I don't clearly understand them, because um, they weren't a part of my life growing up, and so I can't get the full understanding of how these people feel about different amenities and how they were treated, because I grew up with white privilege that I didn't even see when I was growing up. And another thing about this move and this private white school that I went to is that that was a big influence on where I went to college. This was the major decision I had in my life, was where should I go to college? And so I chose a college that it was exactly like my high school. It's a very, very white culture. But the thing that I love most about Bethel is that, and why I chose to do it, is because my sister went there and told me about the cultural connection and just like how we want to integrate it into our lives. And so overall, I think that this move to Nebraska that I saw harmful, I have now found was very beneficial into not just me having white privilege, um, to understand that I had white privilege, but to also get at why the white privilege is prevalent into our world, of why things are going wrong. And so I just think that both of those things, and me deciding to go to Bethel, and the podcast, and all of those things go great together in my life, is that I am who I am because of this move, that the racial issues I didn't see, and the podcast that has brought light to what's really going on.